there's an equation that we come to Earth with, and I want to talk more about that. But, getting to know who I am, I think is required as well. This side of me is the RaiVision. That's my other name that I go by, the visionary, the photographer, the poet. Side is RaiVision, the other name. And I'm introducing myself here under this Facebook page. This is the page where I like to have conversation. I'm going to do it through video posts and hope that people can respond back and have a conversation and discussion about some of the things that I'm bringing up and talking about. Looking to build an audience here with the other side of me, which is a part of the whole of me, so it's not really separate, it's just an extension of who I am. And wanting to kind of come out, from the other side is something that I've always been. I'm into quantum and quantum physics, metaphysics. I've been studying that for a short period of time. I have had insight ever since I was a child. My parents also have the gift, or have gifts as well. But I've always played games with my friends, or we'd be on the phone talking in high school, and I'm like, are you sitting next to something red, something yellow? I get these feelings of color. I'm like, how do you know? Like, or, you're wearing blue socks. How do you know? It's just what I feel. It's always been about feeling. It's always been about feeling. My gift is to see a person's light, not literally see light, like auras or anything, but I'm drawn to their heart, their light love. I'm drawn to the God within. Everyone is talented, but there's just certain people that I vibrate to. I don't know why. But it is. Even with my girlfriends, it's always been about women that were transitioning in their lives and me helping them. I learned not to do that, and I try not to do that because not everybody is welcoming. Even with my friends, I'm seeing their light and pushing them to become what I feel. It's not that I see them becoming like the President of the United States, but I feel that they have the ability to become the President of the United States, and so I'm like, well, this is what you are. This is what you should be. This is how you can do it. This is how you get there. This is how. Which is why I'm a conceptualist. I'm a problem solver. I have solutions where we can test various solutions to find the one that works for you. That's the key. That's, but a lot of it is God-given. I tell my clients, it comes from the divine. And most times I think because we are feeling the same thing, it's the divine coming to me through you. So the things that you really want to do, the things that you really have, I will get inspired as well, or come up with the ideas or the concepts that actually you may have, and execute them or find ways of executing them. I've been seeing those who have passed on and people who have passed on have been coming to me to give people messages here for years, ever since I was, as long as I can remember, as a child, like, well, maybe not 4 or 5, maybe around 6, 7, I started seeing spirits in the church, and as a teenager, that got better. But as a baby, as long as I can remember, their outer body experiences, being able to fly through the stars and things like that. So those are my gifts. Everybody has them, or has some form of gifts. We don't know. Talking about it more, I think it would help. Especially with children being born today, feeling that they're not outsiders. But they're just gifts of God. We all have them, and we shouldn't denounce them. People from the Yoruba faith, or, the Haitian culture, and, drawing in spirits and all that stuff, it's real. It's real. They are there. I don't draw them in. they come to me. I can feel people. My light energy is attached to people, and so I can know when they're sad or happy or hurting. Sometimes, as long as they stay connected to me, it helps. Sometimes I don't have to be connected to them. I'm so in love with them that I stay connected to them. Mostly women, I will say. My godson is one as well. There are a few men that I'm connected to that I feel strong friends and have friendships with, that I can connect to their spirits, but I feel that a lot of men are not internal. They're mostly external individuals, and they're not going inside to find their love and their joy, and I'm hoping to speak a little bit more about that and more that you get to know me. I wanted to come to this giving you a little bit of background on who I am, but I also wanted to bring up the subject of the equation that we come to Earth with. I think we come to the Earth. I believe everything is. There's a lot of trinities in the world, and one of those is the equations that we come into Earth with. We come to Earth for an experience. We come to Earth to learn. It's really a place of learning and expanding, and learning is about expansion. The atom eating the apple from Eve, evolution, the atom expanding through the apple of knowledge. It's used for school. For me, the apple symbolizes school. So when you bite from the tree of knowledge, hello, is an apple. There could be more. I'm just basics. I'm still learning. But for me, that's what it represents. Everything in the Bible is a parable. And Eve, evolution is telling the atom, right? And not atom as in the name, but atom, the atom, to expand itself, take consciousness and to expand. So evolution wants to expand, and it's going to expand through experiences. So even the biting of the apple, the tasting, the texture, the smell, it's all about experiencing. Experience this. Take a bite of this and experience this, so that we can expand into greater and bigger things. And so the universe is full of numbers, it's full of energy, it's full of waves, it's full of a lot of things. But they all break down into physics. Life is really about physics for me. And so the equation is you come in under the universal symbols of the stars, which is astrology. So your astrology plays a part in who you are, right? And that's an equation you have to overcome. I'm a Leo on the cusp of Virgo. I do have my risings and all that. I forgot. It's written somewhere. I don't, pay attention to all that. Not yet. I'm growing into that. And so I learned to overcome. Not really overcome. I learned to control the astrology. The pride. The ego. It's still in me. But if you bring it up, I'll know what you're talking about. It's like, hey, bring it down. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. It's understanding self so that you can balance, because life is really about balancing, and you want to balance. And then you come into a culture or a community, right? A community of people that you go around and, you develop in, and you see and you explore, and again, the experiences of taste and smell and foods and dance and culture, that experience brings you in, and you have to learn to navigate that as well, because the world is expansive. Even if you grew up way back then, you grew up in a little town, but it's still, there's something outside of yourself that was there. And then there's the family. There's the four walls that you grew up in. If you grew up in a foster home away from your family, or if you grew up in your family, your blood relatives, that was your real mom, your real dad, the experience is there. The languages and what you're taking on more than, hopefully, than will be in the future, is you're taking on your parents' issues. You know, you develop under your mother's issues, your father's issues. You get a taste and a feel of your siblings' issues as well. And all that create you. You know, that's the school that you grew up in. And looking back, as you grow, you look and say, I want to take a part of that I liked. This I liked. This I like. Only take the things that you like. Leave the stuff that you don't like behind. Grow out of them. Learn to grow out of them. Learn to be comfortable with them. Learn to not be shameful by them. Learn to adjust to them. Learn to accept them, actually, is really, if you learn to accept them, acknowledge them, and then love them, believe it or not, love what you hate, and it will balance you out. That lets you know what you do want and what you don't want, right? So you don't want that, so don't recreate it. And we'll get into recreation another time. But, I wanted to start there. I wanted to start with who I was and kind of bring in the elements of our equation, 0, then turn to the right, and then turn to the left, and unlocks who you are. And when you unlock who you are, which is going inside, then you can kind of get into that locker and throw some stuff out or put some new stuff in, rearrange things, so that it's like, oh, yeah, I like this. I like me. I like me. I love me. I'm in love with me. I'm loving me. And you want to get the point of loving. Not just love me. I love me. But I'm loving me. Loving is a verb. It's an action word. Love should always fall into loving. I'm loving you. It means I'm actively loving. I'm actively in love with you. It's better. I'm actively in love with you. And you want to start with self. Are you actively in love with self? Take a look at your equations. Figure out those pieces of what you do like and what you don't like. Unlock yourself. Rearrange. Add the new. Take away the old. Or take away what doesn't work for you. And you'll find yourself in a better space. And that's it. That's who I am. This is RaiVision. Loving to live and living to love. Peace.